when a lot of times when herbalists will find this plant, they'll say, oh, I can't wait to bring this back to my kitchen apothecary and put it in with some oil and make an infused oil with it, and it's going to turn blood red. We could demonstrate that with some of these here. So this isn't the best example, and actually a lot of times I'll find St. Johns Wort earlier in the year and I'll just go pop, 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 and my fingers will turn blood red. But I found one right here. Let's see what happens. I'm going to crush it up. It's kind of late in the year. Oh, look, it looks like a little poke on my finger there, like wine, kind of blood, but like wine stain red. And there we go. So I found one. Let's find another. So this plant, sometimes I was crushing it up earlier to see if it would do it. Some of them did, some of them didn't. That to me is an indication that maybe this isn't the best plant to make medicine with. Maybe it's a little spent. We're kind of next to a trail. Maybe I'll go, like sometimes the plant's like, yeah, not me, go in the field and find Larry, and Larry is much better. And I'm like, oh, 10-4, got it. I don't know if I could find it, but then I'll go look for it and I'll find it. And I'll be like, oh yeah, thank you for confirming through my spiritual senses when I communicate with nature that that other one, that I should have went with that other one and not with the first thing that I saw. But sometimes I crush it and it doesn't exactly work the best. So I want that blood wine stain red on my fingertips to know that I'm making good medicine with this plant. So I'll macerate it into a tincture, or I will dry it and use it as a tea. But I really like making an infused oil and using that infused oil for all manner of owies, sharp kind of owies.
Hi, we're Jeff and Elise from Oshala Farm, sitting here out in the field in Southern Oregon in Applegate Valley. And we just wanted to talk with you today about the importance of working directly with farmers and supporting domestic herb supply. So we grow about 84 different varieties of herbs here on the farm, all certified organic, and just have had experience over the last decade dealing directly with individuals and small to medium-sized manufacturers, and just thought it would be interesting to talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of working farm direct and how we can make that successful for both you and for the farmer. So
yeah, I mean, I think, really what it comes down to is why, what's the benefit of working with farm direct? I mean, there's so many great distributors out there, but the reality is 90% or more of the herbs being used in the United States are coming from outside of the country. And the majority of those are coming from China, India, Northern Africa, and Eastern Europe. And there's really a very small percentage of herbs that we use here being grown in North America. And I think for a lot of reasons, one is just resiliency, but also we just need to see more herb production here in the United States. There's a lot of great farmers here that would really like to work and grow more herbs, but there's a lack of knowledge. And then just really trying to help people to understand how to work with the cycles of the farmers and how to kind of get in that rhythm so that you can buy, fresher, more tailored to exactly what you need and have a better consistent supply of a higher quality product.
This is a piece of advice that actually came from a friend of mine, David Crow, and he told me that to be a good clinician, you kind of fundamentally have to be an extremely curious person. So if you're interested in going into clinical practice, I think it's maybe the most fulfilling part of being an herbalist is really guiding and getting to see the transformation of the body and of the spirit. But it requires a lot of digging and research and time, and maybe you hit some dead ends and you have to redirect. And so being really curious, like having some veracity around your curiousness is really important. And because as herbalists, we're flying under the radar a little bit. There's the AHG, and then we're kind of making up the rules. So in clinical practice, I've taken a lot of courses around like how to be a good listener. What is it like to have empathy for someone? I see a lot of chronic illness clients in my practice, and knowing how to have good bedside manner goes a long way. I just had a client last week say, oh, I came to work with you because you had such a kind presence on this podcast I was on. And if I was with someone gruff, I knew I would rebel against the protocol. I was like, wow, that was way more psychological than I was expecting.
We're going to talk about borage, or Borago officinalis. It's in the Boraginaceae family, and they're these lovely periwinkle blue colored flowers with 5 petals, and they look like little stars. They're quite lovely, and they are edible, and they taste a little bit like cucumbers. And of course, they're lovely for decorating cakes, salads, any kind of food that you want to add a little more color to. I like to take them and put them in cocktails just for a little splash when you add other things like butterfly pea flower and you want like a really fancy purplish blue colored cocktail and or non-alcoholic beverage. And anyways, it's a lovely decorative agent and mild edible. And of course, the flowers are typically used. You know, you've all heard the saying, borage for courage. Borage for courage. And, you know, maybe it makes us stronger. Who knows? But it does have that kind of bold energy. It's like, I'm going to stick my chest out and do this. So it's also supposed to be used to gladden the heart and is one of the kind of classic herbs for courage and strengthening the heart. I can't remember if Rosemary Gladstar was the original one who talked about that. One of the things I love most about borage is the fact that it attracts bees, and it is an annual, but it self-seeds prolifically. And there's some years I'm thinking like, oh, I'll just let it self-seed on the garden, and it took over the whole garden. And in fact, I was like, oh, let the plants grow, it wants to be here. But then I realized it was like shading out all the other plants that I had planted, and that was a little annoying. So now I've gotten a little more specific about weeding borages from places with other plants that I want to grow because it will dominate. But it's a great nectar source for bees early in spring, and it grows quite vibrantly. And this is what, early mid-May, mid-April? What month is it?
Hey everyone, this is Mason with HerbRally. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't already. So each month we're going to be releasing a video just like this one where we show you about 1 to 2 minute clips of the classes from our membership site called HerbRally Schoolhouse. For more information on that, go to herbrally.com/schoolhouse. And basically there we release new content each week to our members, new exclusive content to our members each week, and it's only $10 a month. We also have an annual option where you could pay $100 at one time, and that'll get you essentially 2 free months. You could cancel at any time. So yeah, if you're enjoying these classes, you want to get the full context, you want to get the full class, go to herbrally.com/schoolhouse. We'd love to have you as a member. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. If you want more great herbal content, you could watch this video right here, or even this one right here. Good.